There's something interesting about meditation where you'll see them define it as a means of understanding who it is that you truly are. And they do it in a variety of different ways, different definitions, different analogies. And I've learned that really none of these separate definitions counteract any other one. They all really contribute to that overall meaning, but in a unique and layered way where it really provides a lot of depth to this understanding of who it is that you really are. One of these analogies is to think about the ocean. If you just have a superficial understanding of the ocean and you were asked to define its nature, you may say it's constantly moving. It always has currents, there's waves. These waves are incredibly strong. The water is incredibly active. But anybody knows when they go deeper into the ocean, it's the exact opposite of what it appears to be on the surface. It's calm, quiet, peaceful, dark. I understand that the ocean is so deep that I don't believe we've even explored what's at the bottom of the ocean or have really even come relatively close. But it's so deep that the majority of this water is still. It's only the top that's experiencing all of this motion. And that's how we are as people. If you just take what you're experiencing at face value every day, then you may identify as frantic, hectic, always being pulled by different types of thoughts, feelings, sensations, emotions, and we over identify with them. And we believe that this is who we truly are as a person. But one of the first lessons I learned in meditation is to understand that distinction, understand that we are none of those things, and who we actually are is the person behind the wall of that thinking, behind the wall of those sensations and emotions. And that distinction really helps us because we don't have to be on the roller coaster anymore when we're hit with a thought that's uncomfortable. I'm really concerned about my social life, concerned about my career, concerned about my relationship. It's not that we undervalue it, but we don't have to necessarily grab a hold of it and identify with it as something belonging to us. We could say, that's interesting that I had this thought about my friends and then just let it pass because the mind is a thought generating machine. It says you don't like something today, it'll say you love it tomorrow. It'll say you're uncomfortable with something today, it'll say let's try it tomorrow. It's always going to play both sides of the fence. And when you learn that you don't have to identify it and you can step behind the wall of it, then what you'll find behind that wall is that we're no different than that ocean. We're also peaceful, blissful, quiet, calm. And when you start tapping into that and being more familiar with that, then it'll be easier to have that understanding of who you are as opposed to that same understanding that people have looking at the waves of the ocean and thinking that our inherent nature is just turbulent.